Hey.
Yo, what it do? What's good, beautiful people? What it do?
We're so excited to be here, to be doing this show. So, welcome back to Where's the Love? We thank you for joining us on another episode. On our last show, some of what we talked about is trust when it comes to love. We asked the question, what does someone have to do to make you feel that their love is safe? We talked about emotional intensity, how it shows up in love. We talked about addressing it in a healthy, loving way. We talked about much more. So go back to the episode on May 31st, 2026 to hear more. Today we'll be talking about learning to live without survival. But first, let us introduce ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
I
You
am
first,
one of
ladies
I am
first.
one of the hosts. I am Stephanie Hawkenhall. Go ahead, son.
And
And
I'm
this is
Adisa
my
Malik.
handsome son. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
I'm Adisa Malik. Uh, and yeah, so I also want to tell you about where you can catch us. You can catch us right now on Roku and Amazon Fire. All you have to do is search PODTV LIVE or PODTV Live. Our YouTube channels, Love Misunderstood Institute. I want you to do me. I would actually like for you to talk about the business, the nonprofit, for a little bit, if you don't mind, before we like really get
Okay.
into it. I think that's important.
Okay.
And Premier Fitness 0210. You can also go to podtv.tv to watch this show and other shows at any time.
All right. So to tell you a little bit about us, for those of you that don't know, or to remind you to those that may have known in the past or may have heard, uh, we this show was branched off of the nonprofit organization Love Misunderstood Institute. And so it's Love Misunderstood Institute because we educate about eradicating bullying and promoting peace, love, and kindness. We both experienced a lot of bullying in our lives. We've done some as well, but we've experienced a lot, so much that we want to talk about it and to help other people recognize what they're experiencing. Bullying is not only about kids, which is what people think when we mention bullying, they, automatically say or think kids. No, kids grow up to be adults. If they didn't take care of the issue and deal with the issue as a kid, they become an adult bully. So that's what Love Misunderstood Institute is about. And then, so we wanted to do a TV show. We wanted to have conversations about bullying and to educate people. So we found it, the platform to be able to do this. So the name of this show is Where is the Love? And so when you're
Right.
bullying people and you're treating people bad, abusing people, misusing people, there's no love in
Manipulating
that.
people.
Yeah. So we named this show Where is the Love? And then because we have looked for love so much in our lives, these two things, the nonprofit Love Misunderstood Institute and Where is the Love, um, helps us to be able to share our stories, helps us to be able to share our experiences and how we overcame them because we are looking to elevate. We're not looking to stay in the same place. We have family members that are stuck, in a place of hurt and pain and anger and frustration and bitterness. We chose not to be that way. In October 2019, I created a vision board, and on that vision board, I put legacy of love, that I want to create a legacy of love. And so 4 years ago, we started this TV show, Where is the
Mhm.
Love? 7 years ago, we started the nonprofit Love Misunderstood Institute. So you see where we going with this? We're creating a
Peace
legacy of
and
love.
yes, sir.
Yes. So that's a little bit about us, our story, and how these things got started and what we do. You want to
and
add
why it's
something?
so important to us. And why these subjects are so important to us. You get the most knowledge from living it yourself, and also if you're getting it, by proxy, then you get it from a person who's actually lived it. You know,
Yep.
and I know in both of our cases, just dealing with people. Period. We deal with people who take our kindness for weakness. They manipulate when they can. They triangulate. So I mean, not only did we talk about bullying, we talk about mental health, we talk about emotional health. We've
Yes.
talked about things like shadow work, inner child work, uh, narcissistic personality disorder, things of that nature. We've talked about a lot of things over this span. I think we can close to 200, right, man?
Yeah, we gotta be, because when I stopped counting, we were at 170 something, and that was over 30 shows ago. So I'm gonna have to go back and count
Bruh,
them. But yeah,
bruh.
it's
We've been at it, y'all. We've been at it, and we
right.
lived
We
it though. That's why. Yeah, I feel like
go
that's
ahead.
why it's. I feel like it's always important for a person who's been through. The saying is, um, you had to go through a test to get a testimony. You know, and people, believe people, or generally speaking, those with intuitive manners. You know what I mean? Recognize the person who's been through a situation and is giving you experiential information, as opposed to just something that they theoretically, know just because they can memorize things. It's
Right.
different when a person can, tell you because they've experienced it and they worked themselves out of that situation, than a person who's read a book about it and can quote a book. But, well, what about this? What if it goes this way? Then what do I do? Well, the book didn't say that. Hold on, let me find another book. Hold on.
Right. And the difference between, I was listening to what you said, was saying, but the difference between experiencing something and talking about it and reading a book or watching TV or something like that to get your information, the difference is that experience. You experience this, that means you know what you're talking about. So that makes you the expert in that area.
Right,
Um, and so it makes it more powerful because people are more apt to believe you and to believe what you're saying and to believe that they too can get through it.
right.
So,
Yeah, because we've been through hell and high water, both of us,
yeah,
in
yeah,
different ways. Personally, financially, romantically, we've
yeah,
all been through hell and high water. So we've come out on the other side. Thankfully, we have found better versions of ourselves, and we're living in that space. And it's not to say that, like, once you start the journey of healing that things get easier. No, really, it actually gets harder because
yeah,
now you're more aware.
yeah,
You're more
yeah,
aware, and you realize that you have choices.
yeah,
You have choices. You can choose one thing or the other, and everything has a consequence. And it
right,
doesn't have to be a bad thing. You do something good, you get a good result. You do something bad, you get a bad result. I mean,
yeah,
that's just the law of attraction, law of karma. What you reap, you sow. I mean, how many times have they said it? How
yeah,
many different ways? So,
yeah.
so anyway,
That's
that's my
awesome.
spiel for now.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that and for bringing that up, because it is good every now and then to remind people of what we do and why we do it, um,
Right,
to help people understand we ain't just talking about it, we are about it. We have
right,
been about it. This is business, for us, business lived business, to
right.
share and to help others understand exactly what you're experiencing, because some people don't know. I mean, I went through it for as an adult. I went through it for a couple decades before I even realized what the heck it was.
Yeah,
Um, and then since I learned, I just started, learning more, digging deeper. Okay, what is this? What it looks like? And then, of course, writing the books, to make me more of an expert in the area, to show people, hey, I know what I'm talking about. Here's some of my experiences. This is what it looks like. Here's some effects of it. Here's what the experience feels like. So this is what you're looking at. And so I'm really glad that and thankful, that even after experiencing all of this, that I was able to, that it is, like you said, my testimony. So
Hmm.
I had to tell you something. Last week I was talking to one of my neighbors and we were comparing some stuff, about our apartment. And he said, he one part of what I told him he didn't like. I had to tell you about it off air, but one part about what I was talking about he didn't like. It was like, why is your this like this, and why is my this like this, and they should be the
Hmm.
same, And he was saying, yours should be, mine should be more than yours because I lived here longer than you. And I was like, yeah. So we were having that conversation, and he said he was getting mad. He said, I know I ain't your son or nothing. He said, but I feel like I'm your son. He's in his early 40s or
Hmm.
late 30s, one of them. He's younger than you.
Hmm.
But anyway, he
Yeah.
said, I feel like your son. He said, you better be glad you're not my grandma or my mama. He said, and then we kept talking and he just kept getting more mad. He said, I'm about to go to war for you. He said, oh, you one of them saved folks. He said, I'm saved, but I ain't saved like that.
There's a limit to that, you know what I mean? The hood person come out after a while. Hey, brother, peace and love. Hey, oh, really? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Cuz
He
the
said,
other
you
side about to
like,
come out.
right. He said, you like my grandma. And he always tell me how much he loved his grandma and how much his grandma would, get on him if she knew, that I lived around him and he didn't take care of me, and check on me. So he said, yeah, you one of them saved folks like my grandma. You waiting on a testimony. He said, I can't wait. I got to do something about it.
I got the test.
So
I got to
yeah,
get to the other side.
so it was just so doggone funny. But when it comes um to bullying and our lived experiences, these are testimonies. These are things that we lived through, things that we can say, hey, we made it, like you said, to the other side. We made it to the better side of it. We have more peace now in in our life experiences, and we know how to get to that place of peace no matter what we're experiencing and no matter what we're going through. It might take us a minute sometimes, but it don't take as long as it used to because we have lived it so much and experienced it so much, the bad treatment and the abuse. And that doesn't stop because that's how people are. So
Right,
it's like, okay, here's another experience with a different person. Maybe the situations might be similar and they might not be, but what are we going to do? So
right,
we tend to come to a place of peace a lot faster now than we did before all of these experiences. So
right,
it's good that we experience stuff so that we can see, our growth.
right.
So
Yeah.
even though
And
it hurts when we go through stuff, go ahead.
well, I just wanted to add to that, that I do want to also include that, like, healing is not a linear journey. You don't go from a wound to being completely healed.
Right.
Like, this is a continuous journey. Even after, like, if you ever look at something, I have the mark on my forehead from the car door. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It was wide open and then it closed up, but there's still a scar there symbolizing something that I've been through, something I've experienced, you
Yeah.
know. And if I get hit there again, I've had it open. You know what I mean? Again, so like that means that part of my skin is really tight and very sensitive. So if it
Yeah.
gets hit with something, it'll open up again, and that's the
Yeah.
same thing with a wound. But the cool thing about healing, and this is akin to me talking about this thing on my forehead and just life in general, and any wound of any kind. um, it's a journey of healing. Because I mean,
Yeah.
if it opens up so easily, then it can't be completely healed. If you really
Right.
think about it, there's a part of my skin that has scar tissue that is very sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So if it gets hit too hard, it opens up. That's like an emotion. You go
Yeah.
through a trigger point, and your emotions open up wide, and now you're ready to go off like you did when the last time. Because I ain't gonna let that happen again. You know, I mean that's how it goes, though.
Yep.
You're
It
about to
is.
flip out. You gotta pull yourself back. Like, wait a minute. Like,
Yep. Yep.
woosah.
That's exactly true.
You gotta pull yourself off the ledge, man, and you gotta have a support system. But saying all that to say, even with the goofiness on the back end, like healing is not a start to end type thing. It's a
Right.
lifelong journey. So just stay um, vigilant and
Yep.
and man, accept things as they are, adapt, adjust, and grow, man. Because healing is not easy, but it's necessary.
Right.
It's
It's very
absolutely necessary.
necessary. Yeah. If you're gonna grow, it's absolutely necessary.
Right.
Um, and you don't want to stay stagnant. If you stay stagnant, you'll stay mad or upset or triggered, all of that stuff all the time, and it's not worth it. Um, and
Right.
that's why some people develop and have developed mental health issues of some type, whether depression, anger, different. There's,
Anxiety.
yep. So many things like that. People experience that because they don't know how to handle, the things that they experience. And
Right.
so, by holding it in all the time, it's stored in your body somewhere. And then so it
Yep.
comes out where we can visibly see it, your experiences. You want to add something to that?
Yeah, I mean, you know what you just said. Your body keeps score.
Yeah.
Now, I
I was
don't even
thinking
remember
that
who
too.
the right. I don't even remember who wrote the book now in this moment. But yeah, that's a book talking about just how the body keeps the score of trauma and pain and things of that nature. Um, I mean, even cancer, and things like that. Diabetes is like the body keeping score of what has transpired. Man, high
And
anxiety is go ahead.
so the author is Sean Pratt.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome. Keep talking. I just was looking.
you. Yeah, yeah. I was here, blah, 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 thing. But yeah, but yeah, even cancer and things of that nature, they are an accumulation of injury and trauma over time. It didn't happen just overnight. I woke up and this is what it is. There's
Right.
something in the system that replicates in the body because that's what cancer is. It's a
Yeah.
cell or a series of cells that are malignant and they multiply and attack the healthy cells. And then after they devour the majority of those, they attack the rest of the body. So that's what a cancer is. And that's accumulation over time. It didn't happen overnight. I woke up and someone smacked me in the face, and now I'm just anybody put their hand up. I'm
Thank you.
anyway.
Thank you for sharing that because a lot of people, some people may not understand if I stay angry all the time, then, it stores in a place in my body and then all of a sudden something is revealed, some disease, some disease. Um, and
Yep.
so,
The
it's
workings.
important
Yep.
to learn how to deal with the things that, that happens in our body or, deal with the issues of life as they come. And so, with that
Right.
being said, when we're triggered about something, is to deal with that thing, and not set it
Mhm.
aside. Is to deal with it right now in the moment so that you don't have to keep experiencing that same trigger because you didn't learn from it. You didn't learn the lesson that you needed to learn in it. You didn't pay attention to it and say, okay, there's more to this. What is it? What
Right.
is the depth of this? Let me find that out so that I don't keep experiencing the same thing. Otherwise, you're going to keep experiencing it until you get the lesson. So you have to ask
Right.
the question, what's the lesson? in
Hmm.
this? What do I need to learn? So
I
I
just
do
thought
that
of,
a lot.
sorry.
Go ahead. No, I'm done. Go ahead.
I just had a thought. What you just said like led to a possible T-shirt quote. Um, you got to go through. You got to get the lesson to get the blessing, or something like that.
Hmm. That's true.
And let me. So the situation with what just happened yesterday. I'm not gonna go into detail on
Hmm.
but I chilled out. I was going off here, but I wasn't. I didn't go off to that person because I was like, this is a business situation, and
Right.
I don't want to be acting out of emotion and whatnot, and possibly mess up something that could be a big deal.
Right.
So I didn't say anything. So Danica and Hype, the co-manager, manager and co-manager, went and got the check, and now we got a connection that we've been trying to get for a while, like 3 years, and now we got that connection.
Wow.
So,
Just from being
and I
peaceful in that situation.
right, exactly,
Seriously.
exactly. Yes,
Wow.
yes,
See, y'all, when
yes.
you make a choice to do the right thing, wow, that's powerful.
Yeah,
When you make a choice
I
not
mean,
to react, but to respond to some, listen, to
say that. Please
respond
say
to
that again.
something in a positive way or to respond to something in a peaceful way, no matter how you're feeling. Because naturally, when things happen to us, we react to it and we want to attack back. You made me feel this way, so I'm going to make you understand how you made me feel. I'm going to attack you back. And that might not be your thought, but when you react, that's exactly what you're doing. And so
Yeah,
we have to make a choice in the moment. Okay, this is what's happening. Do I want to respond to it or do I want to react to it? If I react to it, I'm going to react in a negative way and it's not going to be a positive outcome. It's going to be a negative outcome because that's what you gave, negative. If you
mhm.
respond to it, you're responding in a way that de escalates. Come on, preacher. Uh, that de escalates the situation and makes things come out in a way that you never would have thought. So,
Yeah,
had you gone off, then you wouldn't have gotten this connection that you've been waiting
right.
on. There's a time and a purpose for everything, absolutely
Yep.
everything
I
that's
say.
happening in life. So, that's awesome. It was
Yeah.
time for that connection to come through.
Right, right. And we have been talking
Wow.
about it as a band for like now about a month and a half. Like, man, every time we pass it, because when Hype brings me home from work, like we pass that place every day. And we talk about it
Wow.
like virtually every time. So now we got that connection. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Wow.
crazy.
Oh
Yep.
my goodness. That's
And this being
amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna say again, it was not easy. I had to have a great support system. Both Danica and Hype were telling me, "Hey, just stay chill. Don't say anything. Don't go off. And I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna go off. What you talking about? I'm about to go off. I'm about to go off. I'm chilling, but I'm mad. But I'm
Right.
chilling, but I'm mad. But okay. But I told him we did this and that, but I ain't gonna say nothing though.
Yep.
I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. If you tired, be quiet and go to
Go to
sleep.
sleep.
But see, that's healing, and
Wow.
that's healing in the moment. It's like I made a choice, and
Yes.
as much as I wanted to go off, and again, thankfully to them, they kept me calm, as
Yeah.
calm as I could be, and I let them run point on that. I was like, I just need to step away from it because I'm gonna go off. I
Yeah.
feel it in my soul, in my spirit. My spirit was on fire. It was on fire.
Wow. I'm so glad
And
you
they call me
shared that.
Hulk. Yeah, and the nigga and Hype be calling me Hulk. They be like, you act like the Hulk when you angry. We need you to calm down. No, I'm not angry. I'm just saying, man. You wouldn't like me if I was angry. You wouldn't like me if I was out, out. Oh man.
Oh, that's awesome. Mark is
Yes,
over here
I turned
typing.
black. I turned black. Black as my beard. The whole body, head to toe.
He said Adisa had to take a deep breath and calm down, and then he said, and then he went and tackled the world.
Exactly. Man.
Man, that's awesome. I love that. The fact that they were like, man, move out the way, in a nice way. Move, we got
Right.
this.
Right.
Let
Right.
us go take care of this. And then just because they went and took care of it, and said, okay, so you knew your lane.
Yeah, right.
You
Exactly.
knew your lane, and they knew
And I
your
know my
lane.
weakness. Yeah,
Right.
right.
And
Yeah,
they operated from that.
yeah,
Wow, that's huge.
yeah.
They operated from that and said, okay, let's go take care of this. We're in a better frame of mind right now than he is with this situation. Yeah, this is messed
Right.
up, but we gotta, de-escalate this situation and go in a peaceful way.
Right.
And then they went and took care of it, and then good came out of it. And see, that's what happens in life and everything. When
Right.
we do things the right way, we're gonna get a good outcome. We're gonna get if
Right.
we go in peace, we ain't gonna how you
Come
say
back in pieces.
come in
Come
peace
back in
or
pieces.
right.
Come in peace or leave in pieces. I'm gonna get that tattooed somewhere. I don't know. Yeah,
uh,
right. Exactly. Sometimes we have to step out the way. Yep.
yeah.
Exactly. Have to step out of our own way. Really.
Yeah. And it's so good that all three of y'all recognize that and you just said, man, forget it. Y'all go ahead. That's
Right.
awesome. I mean,
And
that
if I and
outcome,
I,
3 years.
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And I had a text. I had a text. Both of them was like, man, if I go over there, I'm going deep off.
Yeah.
I know it. I feel it. Like I'm angry, like
Yeah.
deeply, because we've
Yeah.
done everything that you asked of us and more. So
Yeah.
you know,
And you ain't coming through on your part.
but
So
that
that's
goes
our,
back to the scar. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because of past trauma and being screwed over by so many people, and you do everything you can and more to appease and satiate people, and then they screw you over. And when that thing triggers you, it opens up something, it reminds you of something, and you act from it. So
Wow.
the thing is, again, you know, I could have reacted and went off and lost an opportunity, or respond like a person who has some emotional maturity and intelligence, to step back and like just disconnect from the situation, allow someone else who's more calm and settled in that moment to handle the situation than me, and we got a blessing. So you know,
Wow. Man, that's so big. That's so big. So let's talk about we've been talking about breaking cycles and choosing peace and healing. So today we're going to talk about what happens after that decision. Because a lot of people expect healing to feel empowering right away, but instead they feel quiet, slower, less reactive, and sometimes they ask, why does this feel so unfamiliar?
right. And today's conversation is for anyone learning how to live without being in survival mode. Me going
Yeah,
off like that was survival mode.
yeah,
So let's explore what survival mode really is.
yeah.
So let's start here. So what do we actually mean by survival mode? Survival mode is when your nervous system learned early on that it has to stay alert to stay safe, fight, flight, or freeze. Right.
Yep, yep,
So it shows up as hypervigilance, people pleasing, emotional shutdown, over explaining, over functioning, always bracing for impact. And here's the key: survival mode isn't a flaw, it was wisdom at the time. But when safety arrives, the body doesn't always recognize it right away.
we just talked about this.
Yeah.
Man, this a trip how
Well,
this just came together.
right. Yeah, that
So
that first part was not planned, y'all.
right at all. So it was your mind and body doing everything they could to protect you. The problem is that once protected, you can eventually begin to limit you. You may struggle to rest even when you're exhausted. You may feel guilty for setting boundaries. You may expect rejection even when someone is showing up consistently. You may find yourself preparing for the worst, even during your best moments.
Yep. When you spent years surviving, peace can feel unfamiliar. And sometimes we confuse familiar with safe. Yeah, oftentimes it's the exact opposite.
Yep,
But when safety finally arrives, the body doesn't always recognize it right away. The threat may be gone, but the alarm system is still activated.
that's why healing isn't simply telling yourself to move on. Healing is teaching your nervous system that it no longer has to fight, flee, freeze, or please in order to be worthy, loved, or safe. The beautiful truth is this: you are not meant to live your entire life in survival mode. You are created for more than just getting through the day. You were created to heal, to connect, to grow, and to thrive. And this is what we're talking about. This is what we just talked about. You
Yep,
have to recognize where you are in the moment and then make a choice as to how you want to, whether you want to respond or whether you want to react to it
right.
every time.
Yeah. So, yeah, right, exactly. And I mean, and that means you always have the power,
Yep.
always.
Yep.
And there's something by like Henry David Thoreau that one of my favorite writers. He speaks about radical responsibility. Everything that transpires in your life is, and I say this word lightly because it's not the way it sounds, but it's your fault. And there's a lesson in that for you to learn. And it's your fault, as in, we are beings that evolve over time. You're supposed to adapt and change. So when you incur something, take that the responsibility for where you are at that moment, and then consciously take these steps to push yourself in a direction where you want to go.
Yeah.
But the fault is just awareness as to where you are at this current moment, and that's radical responsibility.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Uh, so we also want to ask, like, what survival behaviors have become normal for you, uh, and what would change in your life if you truly believed that you were safe. Survival mode helped you make it through the storm, but healing is learning that the storm is over.
So now we want to talk about why peace can feel uncomfortable. This is where people get confused. They say, nothing is wrong, but I feel off.
And that's because chaos has trained the nervous system. Intensity feels like connection. Drama felt like closeness. So when peace shows up, and I
Yeah.
can speak from that. I can speak for that.
Go
I know
ahead.
that. I was gonna say, man, like, in that last situation, it's like it was chaos, 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 chaos. And all of a sudden the storm slowed down, and I was like, I know something about to happen. I'm not taking the bait this time. And then next thing you know, it's another storm. It's like, see, I told
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. It's something to be able to recognize things now, or to, as it's said, to become aware. Once you become aware of something, then you can make, better choices in that moment. You make less rational, uh irrational, um
Right, emotional decisions.
yeah. So it's important to pay attention to where you are, and so it can feel empty, even boring. But peace isn't emptiness; it's safety without adrenaline. That adrenaline can jack you up, boy. How you doing all kind of stuff you ain't got no business. You froze. Uh, I'm gonna have to watch to see when you're not froze. And then he got kicked out. So now we want to talk about grieving.
Yeah,
Back-
right.
Oh, you back in there?
Sorry,
Go ahead.
internet is going in and out. So let's talk about grieving who you had to be,
There's
like
a
who
part.
you had to be. Right.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, constructing a mask of yourself to people please, so that you can be in some semblance of peace in a chaotic situation.
Yeah, yeah. That's there's a part of healing people that we don't talk about enough, and that's grief.
Right.
And somebody
And
had to remind me. I'm sorry. So somebody had to remind me recently about grief in more than one way. You can grieve in more than one way. And then through some of the things that I've been experiencing in the last couple months, I realized something that I learned in the mid 90s. Um, and was that's my current state of mind. That's my current place, and that is spiritual grief. I understood it back in the mid 90s when I was married and I first started studying the word. But now I didn't even recognize that because it's been so long since I've been in that place in my mind or in my life. It's not just in my mind, but in my life. Um, Learning, because we have so much control of so many things happening in our lives. And so learning, in order to get into new areas of life, first remembering that we're spirits living in these bodies. And so we're spirits having natural experiences. So when somebody reminded me about grief in another area of my life, and it's concerning the girls moving away, said, oh, well, that's grief. I was like, wow, I hadn't thought about that. And then as the days went on, then I was like, wow, so that's what I'm experiencing spiritually. So anyway, I just
mm,
wanted to add that
wow,
because
that makes a lot of
grief,
sense.
yeah, because grief is more than one way, like she reminded me, but I just didn't think of,
Yeah,
so then, like I said, since then, I was reminded of my experience in the mid 90s when that's exactly what I was experiencing. I'm like, oh, that's what I'm experiencing again. So, yeah, I
yeah,
want my spirit to be transformed from this present to, you know, the only way I can say it right now is to beyond this, uh, this present moment. And so, I have to really acknowledge and be aware of the different things that I'm experiencing right now and make choices. And I'm being faced with more, um, I'll call it opportunities to make uh, choices. Okay, this is your current situation. What you gonna do? Then I got to make a choice in that situation. So that is coming more often than just, I mean, so many times a day, so it's just different when that's not a way that you're used to living and a way that you're used to thinking. It's like now you got to be
yeah,
aware of this every time so that you can learn this and get past this. So, anyway,
right.
I just thought that was powerful to understand. Oh, wow. And I remember Kevin used to
Yeah,
say, there's nothing I can say and nothing I can do. All I can do is just be there. So, anyway,
yeah,
I just thought that was powerful. So, just to be talking about grief right now, I just wanted to interject that.
yeah, yeah. And grief, like any other part of healing, it takes time to work through. And
Yeah,
and I'm saying to you, and I'm saying this also to our viewers, like just be patient with yourself.
yeah,
Things will become easier, and and you'll find your way around through that thing. But you have been a strong person, especially for those girls. You know, especially as
Yeah.
of the last few years, as things have reconnected. So take and I'm not trying to tell you what to do or how to feel, but just saying I've seen you, and I've seen what you've done for them and how you've been um, just like trying to hold them up, and help them be better versions of themselves despite what they've been through, and what
Yeah.
you've been through with those connecting situations. Um,
Yeah.
so I commend you. I always like, just when I think about it, it's like, man, mom really held them down, even though the other part was trying to create division. It actually brought
Yeah.
more closeness. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And I'm thankful for that closeness, but I miss it. And that's the grieving
yeah,
part. And I was like, wow, I
right,
hadn't even thought about that like that.
yeah,
But you're right. And then so that was the starting point, and then days after that it was, oh, but you're also experiencing grief in this area too. And here's what it's called. Remember, you experienced it years ago. Now here it is again.
yeah,
Now you're by
yep,
yourself. So what you gonna do? So anyway, that's just a powerful moment.
yeah.
Yeah. So
And
you
circling
want to
right
ask?
back to that scar tissue. Yeah, circling right back to that scar tissue. It's an old wound that's been reopened, and now you have to, respond to it, and have to
Yeah.
work through that process of evolving to another version of yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so gonna kind of go back just a minute. So we were talking about healing. Uh, People don't talk about grief enough, and we usually, in situations like this, we grieve the version of ourselves that survived, something that we went through, and now missing things that we had in the past that we created our identities around.
Hmm. That's good. So I'm not sure where we are, but
It's not-
so the strong one, the fixer,
yeah,
the one who held it all together.
yeah. Exactly, and that's exactly what you were. Exactly, you were the glue. You were the glue. See.
And I hadn't even thought about that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Letting go of survival can feel like losing identity.
But you're not losing yourself. You're meeting yourself without armor. Man, that's so powerful.
Yep.
Oh, because I have felt like I'm losing myself. Who am I?
Mhm.
What do I do? What kind of Mark said the glue that holds it all together?
All together,
Um,
exactly. And you and
yeah,
you are that.
yeah. And I hadn't even thought about that. I'm like, what am I? It's kind of like when y'all went out off to college. Y'all went out of state. And I was like, now what am I gonna do? I've
Right.
been kind of feeling that. And I'm like, well, they gotta live their life too, and they gotta, so anyway,
So
just dealing with all of that. And so I'm I'm thankful that we're doing this show because it's helping me today.
yeah. Awesome. All right. So now we're gonna talk about, what does learning a new normal look like? What does a healthy nervous system start to look like?
Slower responses, clearer boundaries, less explaining, more clarity.
And you stop chasing connection and start choosing alignment.
Ooh, we.
This one right here. Peace becomes. We were talking about that anyway. Peace becomes something you protect, not apologize for. Man,
And I had to say something about this alignment
yeah,
because I did not realize through all of these things that I've been experiencing the last couple months that it's putting me in alignment with where I'm supposed to be.
yeah, right.
And so, with that being said, I have to do this. I don't put a whole lot of business out there in social media, but I have to say this. So I've been putting a lot of stuff on social media and doing all that I know and understand how to do, um, social media, and how to get, audiences, how to get my right audience, and how to get followers, and how to get people connected to my calling, um, healing, um, focusing on healing and not the hurt and the pain, the bullying, the abuse, and all of that, but focusing on healing and living, and not just existing. So, yesterday, I had the opportunity. You already know this, but I'm just sharing it with the audience. Yesterday, I had the opportunity. I'm just scrolling on my phone, and all of a sudden, I saw Spectacular Smith. I didn't know who he was when I saw him, but I just stopped and listened. And he was talking about his master class. And so I just the things that he was saying to get me to come to the master class, I was drawn by what he said. And so for y'all that don't know, Spectacular Smith was part of the rap group Pretty Ricky. And so I clicked on it, filled out the information, and as soon as I filled it out to attend the master class, it said the class starts in 10 minutes. And I was like, what? So anyway, I joined the class. 2.5 hours I spent in the master class listening to the things that he was saying and being awed by, being in awe about the things that he was saying. I'm like, this is exactly what I've been looking for. This is exactly what I need. And then him and Master P, some people may know and some may not. Him and Master P work closely together, and um, they
Who don't know Master P?
no, they might not know that Master P and Spectacular, which he calls
Oh,
Spec,
okay.
but they don't. Yeah, Master P is anyway.
Make him
So
say,
yeah.
nah, 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 nah.
So I was just saying that people may not know that they work closely together. So they created this blueprint to help people get followers. I mean, and they have so many followers, it's just crazy. Um, but they learn how to do it. So now they are making the information available to other people to help other people. And so when they he fit excuse me, when he finished the master class and then said the amount that it was going to take to be in his class, I was like, wow, I just got that money yesterday. I cannot
Mhm,
believe it's this amount. And
mhm.
so it was just made available to me. And so I'm going to be trained and coached by Spec Smith. Yay! And Master P,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that I can
Congratulations.
learn this social media game and how to get it going like they got it going, or however more better than what I'm experiencing and have been experiencing. Okay, Mark. Oh, Gene. So anyway, I'm super excited about being able to do that and to get in that class to learn and to be coached by them, somebody that's already doing it. So years ago, I was told, if you want to be a nurse, here's an example. If you want to be a nurse, hang out with nurses. Well, I don't want to be a rapper and I don't want to be a singer, but I do want to learn this social media game because it's a place where I can get business and gain business through my nonprofit organization and through my coaching business, Mercy Proves Love Coaching. So I'm super excited about the opportunity to be able to get in the room with people that's already doing it and already have it excelled beyond where I am right now. So I know that the coaching is going to be fabulous. And I already see followers, so many followers following me and understanding and desiring what I have to give because I haven't gone through all these experiences that I've gone through in life to not be able to share with other people. So the experiences that I've had Other people have experienced it, and because I've learned, I've overcame, and I'm still overcoming. But I can say I experienced that. I know how it feels, and now I'm here to help you. You too can get beyond this. So let me take your hand and take you with me so that you can get to the other side. I know what it looks like on that side, and I know what it looks like on this side, and I know what it took to get from that side to this side. So I'm super excited because my uh, in my heart, I just want to help people. And I remember years ago when I learned what the name Barnabas in the Bible means. It means encourager. And I learned that when I was a kid. And I said, I want to be that. That's what I want to do. And a lot of people have told me that I have encouraged them and inspired them through some of the things that I've shared. And so you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't
You're
seen
just getting started.
nothing. Right. So I'm super excited about that. Mark says Stephanie about to be a superstar.
Superstar.
Mark, Mark, a lady that I work for, a nonprofit organization doing the certified mental health coaching in the public schools. That's what she calls me. She don't even call me by my name anymore. She called me superstar. She been calling me
There
that
we
for
go.
about a year now. That's
Love
Sherry
it.
Jean.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
she calls.
She see the vision. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad that I was able to share that too. So just keep going. Don't give up when things look bad, feel bad. You're going through a lot of bad experiences. Just stay hopeful. Have faith that you will overcome. You will get to the other side, but you it takes work. So and layers of stuff will be just like an onion, peeling back the layers
Hmm.
because
Yep.
we have through all the different things, trauma and other experiences that we've had, layer on top of layer on top of layer, and so it's like a snowball going down a hill. And so those things have to be taken apart, have to be taken off. And so that's why you might be getting triggered by things, or why certain things are being revealed in your life that you haven't thought about, for a long period of time or something. It's time to deal with it. The layers of the onion are being peeled back so that you can um, get to the root, that bulb inside, um,
Yep.
and become a superstar.
Yep.
uh, so Mark
Become
said
the highest
there's a
version of yourself. Yep.
yeah. Mark said there's a master plan for everyone. It is. We all have something special that we've been put on this earth for. And
Yep.
so, in order to get rid of the past and the hurt and the pain from the past, we have to, all of that stuff has to be revealed, brought back up again so that it can be dealt with in the proper way, and so that we can excel and help others and reach back and pull them forward with us. You want
Yep.
to add something, son?
Yeah, man. I just want to go back to what you said. Healing a journey that goes through cycles, and as we have said multiple times, got an echo going on. But yeah, just be patient with yourself during the healing journey. Know that it didn't start overnight, and it's not going to end overnight. But the more that you work on it consciously, um, the easier things become.
Yeah.
So just stay the path, stay faithful, stay focused, love yourself, give yourself grace, give the same to other people as much as possible, and also know how to drop the hammer down.
And win.
And win, exactly. 'Cause sometimes the hammer is necessary. Wow! I done told you, boy. I done told you, boy. Now listen. Now listen, boy.
So let's talk a little bit about faith and safety. God as a regulator. That's what we want to talk about. So Gene just mentioned faith. Let's talk about faith here. God is not a God of chaos at all.
Yeah, scripture tells us that he brings peace that passes understanding.
When your nervous system learns safety, it mirrors spiritual trust.
Right. and rest becomes an act of faith, and stillness becomes strength.
So, what Gene said, rest becomes an act of faith. That's something that we don't want to do and that we don't automatically do. Just rest in the moment. Just pause. We talked
Right.
about the pause.
Yeah.
Just pause, um, and
Take a
ask
deep breath.
questions. Ask the question: what do I need to learn from this? If it's chaos, if it's not peaceful, that should be the question that you should be asking. Learn from the situation. And so, encouragement.
So if you're watching and
Go ahead.
okay. All right, so if you're watching and thinking, I don't react the way I used to, that shows growth. If
Yeah.
you're choosing calm over chaos, then that's healing. You're healing. You're in the process of healing consciously.
Yep. And if your life feels quieter, that's peace. Learning to live in you.
Yep. All right, so I want to ask a few, pose a few questions of reflection and introspection. We want to leave you with a few things that you can sit with this week. Now, no pressure, just gentle awareness. Maybe when you're going through something, you can maybe ask yourself these questions to help to bring yourself back to a state of calmness and peace. So first, what behaviors help me survive, but no longer serve who I'm becoming? That is a major question right there.
Yeah. And then here's another one. How do I respond to calm? Do I trust it or do I brace for something to go wrong? And then here's another question. What would it look like to let peace become my new normal? So before we close out, you want to add anything?
Yeah, just again, reiterating what I just said, it's important to give yourself grace. Healing is not easy and it ain't pretty. Most of the time, it's a lot of snotty, crying faces with snotty noses and, feeling like the world is
Woo.
about to crash under your feet. And then
Yes.
after you catch yourself and you come back to realization, it's like I had to work through this storm to come back to the center of the storm to find peace and
Yes.
understand that there's going to be another storm on the other side because that's
Yes.
life. And that's how you
Yes.
grow.
Right.
That's how you grow. So, and I know that Bruce Lee is not the first person to ever say this, but there's a quip that I hear often associated with his name. Don't ask for an easier life, ask to be a stronger person.
Mm, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Because that's what's necessary in this life to be a stronger person. Because people don't care how they talk to you, how they treat you, the things they
right,
do to you. They don't care. Not everybody in this world, thankfully, but there's
right,
enough of them that will have your life tore up in your mind if you focus on what people are doing to you, how they're treating you, how they're talking to you. So you
right,
got to make a choice. Choose what they're doing, saying, or how they're treating you, or choose peace in the situation. So
right.
every time it's a choice that we got to make. It's up to us
Yep,
how how the thing plays out.
yep,
So you want to close out? Or,
yep, yep. So, as always, we want to thank you for joining us on another episode of Where's the Love. We send you lots of love and peace
love, peace,
and happiness.
joy, and pain.
Joy to the
Oh,
world and
we,
sunshine and
we,
rain. I called it. I was on the back end.
yeah, because we're singing two different songs.
Right.
All right, healing is not becoming someone new. It's about finally feeling safe enough to be yourself.
Amen to that. All right. So we'll see you next Sunday at 5 p.m. Central.
Until then, choose peace and love. Take care.